Hey, how's everybody doing? Well, it was a crazy season opener for the Islanders. It was a disappointing opener for the Islanders. Islanders fall 5-4 to the Utah Hockey Club. And it's probably more disappointing in the fashion and how they did it and whatnot. But overall, on a positive, we walked out with a point, and I know that sucks, but I remember a whole bunch of times last year being really disappointed in our loser points. I remember one in particular to San Jose where we let San Jose come back in the third period and then they eventually won it in overtime. That was a horrible feeling point. We had a couple other games like that as well. We had the Ranger outdoor game, that the feeling of I don't even think we got a point in that one. We might have actually got a point in that one. I think we lost in overtime. But yeah, I guess if there's a positive to this whole thing, I'll go back to our old buddy Barry Trotz. We're in the point collecting business, so if there's one positive about that is that we collected a point. Like season openers are tough. You never know what you're going to you never know what you're going to get, and you just don't know what to expect. Like if you look at some of the season openers so far, like the Leafs, 48 shots on net and get shut out. Edmonton Oilers, most pundits are predicting them to win the cup this year. They get absolutely shellacked 6-0. You got the Canucks playing who everybody thinks the Flames are a pretty weak team. 3-goal lead, give that up and lose. So you know, it was a sloppy opener for us, no doubt about it. I don't think the ice conditions helped the sloppiness, but let's we'll leave the ice to another time. But it certainly didn't help. The Islanders overall were pretty sloppy in this game, and it's pretty disappointing because we had such a positive preseason. Now I try not to get tricked by preseason. And maybe I did get a little bit tricked this year, even though I was still you just can't go by preseason, and it was seen tonight. So basically, what I saw in preseason, it was us pretty much dominating 6 games. I kind of think the reasons why we dominated so well in those exhibition games is I think we were playing at a little bit of a higher level than the teams that we were playing against. I think we were playing Patrick Waugh kind of style of hockey in preseason that boded really well for us. And of course, the Isles, they walk into this preseason opener and they're a little bit high on their supply. It was a pretty easy preseason. Everything went well for them. The guys who were supposed to score scored. We got some new guys. They were contributing. Everything was roses. And then all of a sudden we step into the season opener. You've got nerves and the pace of the game just picked up full step from exhibition. And I think the Islanders were a bit taken off guard by that. I really do. I think it took them a while to get around to it. They never really fully got around to it in this game. They never actually got into full gear. We had our moments. We had our spurts. There was some times it's just beautiful plays by the Islanders. It just got you so excited about the season coming up and whatnot. But overall, it was a pretty sloppy game. And I guess if there was a theme of this game, it would be in 3 words: turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. And that's pretty much what the Islanders did all game long was give turnovers. So there's lots of work to be done. I'm not overly disappointed. I'm glad we got a point. But yeah, so let's get into it. Anthony Duclair opened up the scoring for us at 11:10 and put the Islanders up and got pretty excited about that. Duclair, new guy on the team, gets his first goal out of the way right off the bat. That's perfect. That's beautiful. That's the way you like it done. Dobson and Barzell assisting, and it was a power play goal. So there's lots of reason to be optimistic. Power play looked great. Uh, it struggled last year, so looking good. However, Islanders give up a power play goal of their own with less than a minute left in the period. And this is something we don't want to do to start the PK 0 for 1, basically. And right off the bat, we're last place in penalty kill in the league to start the season, right where we left off last season. If we're going to be a serious contender, this seriously has to be it's got to be fixed. If we don't fix this, we can't be a serious contender. And I see this team as a team that's not going to be struggling down the stretch to meet the playoffs. I see this team as possibly good enough to be in the playoffs rather convincingly. And you don't want to get yourselves into holes like they're doing by bad PK, late period goals. Not a good start, that's for sure. So anyway, you're hoping for a better second period, and the Islanders kind of started off the same way. They're still sloppy. They're the turnovers. It was amazing. I couldn't believe the amount of turnovers in the first 3 minutes of the second period. It was just crazy. No matter who it was, as an Islander, the second they got on their stick, they here you go, take it to the Utah guys. It was insane. And of course, Utah goes ahead when Barrett Hayton scores, and it's not looking good for the Islanders, down 2-1 in season opener, but it's early, so we still got a ways to go. But it never really picks up in that second period. There's signs, once again, small things picking up that possibly, maybe, we could be okay. But ends in a tie at 2-2. I guess down 2-1. And I guess the only thing that we can be happy about is we're going to go into the third period only down a goal. And lo and behold, don't you know it? Entering into the third period, Bo Horvat scores from Duclair and Dobson. Both Duclair and Dobson picking up their second points of the night, which is awesome. It's great to get them off to a good start. Get another one of our goal scorers scoring a goal, and it was a beauty. Perfect passing by the Isles. And all of a sudden, we're tied up. I'm energized. The Islanders are dominating the first 3 minutes of the period, and I go, yes, we finally arrived. Then we take a penalty, and it's like, oh no, the way our PK is going, but it's a different season, right? So who knows? And lo and behold, Pajot and Holstrom hook up. It looks like last year all over again. These guys scoring shorties, and it's awesome, and everything's happy, and we're up 3-2 in the third period. We were losing 2-1 going into it. Excitement abound. However, we still got a long way to go to kill this power play. And lo and behold, we continue to relish in the basement of the PK for the season. We are the 32nd team in the NHL in PK. We've now given up 2 goals in 2 opportunities when Dylan Guenther scores from Keller and Sergachev. And kind of takes the air out of the balloon. However, at that time, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? We don't score that shorty, we're losing this game right now, 3-2. So we saw it off with them in the power play. I guess we'll have to work on the PK later, but man, it's just not a good feeling after what we saw last year. That's for sure. And then lo and behold, a guy who I'll rant about when I start talking about the players, Maxim Siplikov scores his first goal in the NHL, and man, it was a beauty. Some great passing from Nelson and Palmieri. But that release, the catch and release that Siplikov had on that is so much poise. What a beautiful goal. And pandemonium. It's 4-3. There's only 2 minutes left in the game. What can go wrong, right? Absolutely not. But let's not forget it's the season opener, and I've seen a lot of crazy things going, like the Canucks Flames game, how they just melted down the Canucks and everything. It's the first game of the year. What can you do? And Josh Doan comes down with less than 2 minutes left and quickly ties up the game at 4 apiece. And I'm going like, oh no, so many bad signs. That's 2 periods of this game that we've given up a late goal. We've had 2 power plays that we've had to kill off. We've given up power play goals on both of them. Our power play should have won us this game. And the power play at times looked really good, but 1 for 6 versus 2 for 2. Well, it was obviously the difference in this game. However, I'm still hoping that we might be able to steal that second point in overtime. But Dylan Guenther, who's off to a hot start this year, scores his fourth goal from Jersey and Cooley, and the Islanders are losing their home opener 5-4 to the Utah Hockey Club, just like that. But like I said, we gained a point, so we've got that to be a little bit excited about. Now, let's talk about the players a little bit. Well, the first person I'm going to talk about is number 7, Maxim Siplikov. Like, I cannot be more excited about a player than I am about this guy. We have had a few guys in the last 5 to 7 years from Russia, older KHL guys that did well in the KHL. And they just came over to the Islanders and absolutely 100% busted. And when we signed Sipakov in the offseason, I kind of, okay, yeah, nice stats. And that's pretty good for the KHL. But where have we seen this before? But my God, this kid, this kid is special. Like he's 26 years old. He's a man. He has a man body. He has the poise of a veteran. We may have just got the steal of the season for the Islanders, and this guy could be a piece that puts us from the running for a playoff spot in amongst a pack of five teams going for two spots to actually getting in the playoffs on our own comfortably. Max he's unbelievable. He's so excited about him. Everything about him, his vision when it comes to passing is absolutely amazing. He has that. Also, he has the ability to slow down the play like Barzell does, and he has the vision is so crucial. So few NHLers have vision like the kind that Maxime Siplikov has. He absolutely demolished somebody with a hit tonight. His board play just looks like another version of Anders Lee dominating on the boards. His zone entries are amazing, and he likes to shoot. He makes great, fantastic, visionary plays and passes, kind of like a Panarin. Kind of like a Panarin. I'm not saying he's as good as Panarin or anything like that, but I'm saying it kind of reminds me in that sense where he's the type of guy who likes to pass, but he passes because he sees something with his great vision that nobody else sees, and that's why the guy's open. However, he's not afraid to shoot the puck, and he's going to score goals. And that catch and release he had tonight was a thing of beauty. And another one was that one. It was kind of a mangled 2-on-1. How he just in the first period, and he came down and swooped in and just scooped the puck right at the goaltender right away. Like he has a nose for the net and he likes to score, but his passing ability and vision is just as amazing. And what he does for our top power play, I'll tell you what, as disappointed we are tonight with losing this game with the power play of 1 to 6, going 1 for 6 and that. Our power play this year is going to win us a lot of games. And our number one line is also going to win us a lot of games this year. Mark my words. Yeah, we fell into all the patterns of last year, and I know everybody's up a little bit uptight about that, but you have to look a little bit beyond that. It's just a really sloppy season opener, and this is a different team. The addition of Declare and Siplikov and the subtraction of Clutterbuck and Martin, this is a completely different team. And I am just gushing about Maxime Siplikov. Like Sip, uh, what he does for us is it's amazing. It just brings us up another level. Like our top two lines are so solid. I can't remember the last time we had two top lines this solid. And he's the reason. And I think he's the reason he makes the top six so solid now. He's the reason our power play is going to be so awesome this year. And yeah, couldn't be happier with this guy's defensive play is great. Everything about him, awesome. Holstrom, good job, Holstrom on the PK. But other than that, not a really whole lot out of him tonight. Didn't really see anything too bad or anything. So Simon had an okay game. A lot of Islanders had an okay game because of so many turnovers. But it's hard to isolate any one player. Maybe Dobson on the turnovers. That we had tonight because so many of our guys were so guilty of these turnovers. So it's really hard to pick on any one person for the turnovers, even though you may find I do that with Dobson when I get to him. Anthony Declare, what a great start. What a great start to your Islander career. You won the fans over, they're chanting your name, you put up 2 points, goal and assist, 19 minutes, 45 seconds of ice time. what more could you ask for out of a debut for a player in an Islander uniform? So it's so nice. Usually we have like when we have stud rookies come up, or at least maybe not lately, but in our recent past, we've had so many guys come up that have, not succeeded, and it's taken them a long time to struggle. Like when Palmieri came over in a trade, it took him forever to score his first goal, and he only scored one goal, but then he took off in the playoffs and that kind of thing. It's so nice to see these guys succeed right off the bat. So, pretty excited about Duclair's debut. Matt Barzell, a good game, but like I said, overall the whole team was sloppy. And the first line, Declare and Barzell and Horvat, and that they definitely had their moments, and they definitely had their times of dominating, and they definitely had their times of looking good on the power play and that. But we can expect much better, I think, out of these guys. And for these guys, I'm going to go to the ice conditions a little bit, like playing with the bouncy puck for guys who like to toss the puck around and use speed. It was not a good combination for them tonight. So hopefully on a little bit better ice. And like I said, season opener. It's a season opener. Like I'm not sweating this at all. Yeah, it was a crappy way to lose, but we got a point. I'm okay with that. Bo Horvat, guy's got a great shot, and he had an excellent game. Really, he did. He was all over the ice. The whole first line was, and but Bo just seems that presence out there. He had a nice game. I guess I shouldn't hold it against the first line that they didn't have a great game. They had a good game. They had a good game. So basically, Duclair, Barzell, and Horvat all played well, but nothing outstanding. Kyle Palmieri, he had his moments, but we could use more out of him. It's only the first game of the year, so I'm not too worried about it. His hitting's still there, his speed still looks good, but didn't really notice Kyle too much on the ice tonight, and you kind of want to be noticed. So, but I didn't notice him either doing anything worse than anybody else out there defensively. So I guess that's the best way to put it. How about Wally tonight? I thought Wally did what it takes for Wally at this moment in time to stay in the NHL until he can prove that he's a goal scorer. He did what he had to do on the fourth line, and it was really nice to see. He was using his body, he was forechecking, doing everything he had to do. I thought Wally had a really good debut on the fourth line, and hopefully positive things to come with that. So good job, Wally. Hang in there, man. Who knows? You start scoring on the fourth line, then you get bumped up. That's how it works. Anders Lee, I thought Anders had a pretty good game. His regular style, but he looks faster this year. We are talking on a message board. At least he did in the first two periods. Might have slowed down a little bit in the third, but overall, pretty good game by him. He only played 15 minutes tonight, was a -1, but overall, not too bad. So, good game by the captain. Now, Brock Nelson, even though he had a point, was a +1 tonight and played 19 minutes. Brock was the one guy I noticed that was coasting through camp this year, especially in the games. And I was expecting him to kind of turn it up because he's Brocktober, right? Who else would crank it up at this time of year other than Brock? So I didn't see that though. I just didn't see that tonight. There's moments, but Brock can be like that. He can be kind of disappearish, and then all of a sudden, boom, he scores two goals. So you never know with Brock. But overall, a little bit worried with what I saw in preseason. However, he does get the veteran exemption for preseason that older vets do deserve and have earned. So I was kind of hoping it was that. So I thought I was going to see something big out of him tonight, and I didn't see that, so I was a little disappointed in that. Kyle McLean, he can have a better game too, but he didn't really do anything wrong. Good forechecking. The fourth line wasn't bad. They just they didn't the fourth line just didn't do anything to set the tempo in the game at all. Where that's kind of what you need out of the fourth line. They were forechecking and everything. Don't get me wrong in that, but you just kind of expect a little bit more of the fourth line. And they went a -1. You don't like that out of a fourth line. So we can expect better and more, I would think, out of Kyle. Uh, Now, this guy I do want to talk about, JG Pajot. I thought Pager stuck out to me tonight in a way of more of a comparison to last year. I There had been murmurs and rumblings that JG had basically played the entire season injured. If it wasn't one injury, it was another, but it was something always banging him up. And we really saw a whole lot of nothing out of JG last year. But I thought tonight I thought I saw an invigorated, re-energized kind of Pajot. I think he may be healthy for the first time in a long time. And of course, he's the first guy to get his lip cut open in the first period, right? So, but at least cut lip's not going to slow him down. So I was actually really impressed with Pager's game tonight. Did a great job on that goal on the shorty and that, but both him and McLean on the power play and Zeke they need to pick that up. And Casey's the next guy that I'll talk about. Like I thought the fourth line was pretty average tonight. They were kind of doing their job, but they all walked away with a -1, right? So we need at least even from the fourth line, and if they can do something to change the pace of the game and get us going again, whatnot, that's what we need out of the fourth line. And we uh they were okay, good, but nothing spectacular, that's for sure. Mike Riley, no, I thought it was a little under par for what we can expect out of Mike Riley. So, Mike didn't get a lot of playing time in the exhibition season. And I'd been wondering why he hadn't had a lot of playing time. Like, he didn't even play in the first two games. His first action wasn't until the third game. He didn't really stick out to me tonight, but as a defenseman, that can be a good thing. And Riley walks away with a +1 for the night, which on a night like for tonight for the Islanders could have been a tough thing to do. So he was okay. I thought Adam Pelech was good on the defensive side. I still thought he was a little choppy, kind of rusty-ish at the start of the season, but overall he was playing his bang up defensive game. So yeah, I thought he was okay. But and once again, same with Pollock. There was a couple mistakes I saw Pulley make that he shouldn't have, and once again, we'll put that one into the okay category. Dobby, dude, what a mess! What a mess! I mean, yeah, great, you got us 2 points tonight, and in 25 minutes of play, but your turnovers tonight, dude, they were brutal. They were like, you got to be better than that, Dobby. You have to be better than that. You're a top pairing defenseman, man. You have to be better than that. It's great to get the points and whatnot, but you still have to be better than that. Scotty Mayfield, I thought Scott did okay. First game back in since February 22nd, I believe it is. First real game action that he had. Looked a little rusty, but Scott even looks like that when he's not rusty. So uh, overall, I thought Scott had a pretty good game playing his defense. And same could be said for Romanov. I thought he played well. However, he had one glaring error and a couple other errors, but his hitting. Sorry about that. I had a little bit of a coughing fit there. So yeah, I was talking about Romanoff, and overall, I thought he had a pretty good game using his body and playing his typical Romanoff style. But like I said, one glaring error, and he walks away with a -1 today. So overall, Dobby and him looked bad together because Dobby was bad and Romy was just a little bad. So that only leaves us to talk about is the goaltending and Varley tonight. He didn't stink up the joint, but he didn't do anything to help us win this game either. A couple of the goals weren't his fault. A couple, yeah, they're okay goals, and sometimes you stop them, sometimes you don't. So I was expecting better things out of Barley tonight, but 5 goals and 26 shots. That's not really acceptable. But this may be a boon for Ilya Sorokin, who's actually walking into this season with a bit of pressure because he had such a bad season last year. Is and it was under Waugh, which made it even tougher with the new coach. So I think Ilya is going to want to show everybody that he's the number one guy and he needs to return to that kind of form again. So hopefully next game we see Soroki in there, but definitely our goaltending for tonight's game was under par, and it's one of the reasons why we lost tonight. But the good news, we got a point, overtime loss. We're in the points collecting business. So anyway, let's hope that we can come away with a better effort on this next 3 games as we hit the road. So anyway, everybody out there, it was great to get the season underway. It was chaotic, it was sloppy, it was fun, it was some beautiful plays, there was some horrible plays, but thank God hockey's back. So anyway, you guys all take care and peace out.